How's it going today, everybody? Welcome back to Troy's Hobbies RC. Today on the channel, we're going to be doing some monster truck maintenance. It's getting close to the start of our 2026 winter series, and I need to do a little bit of maintenance to some axles on my Pro Mod for this season. What we're going to be doing is refreshing and rebuilding my Brass Ring Fab custom axle housings for the Losi LMT. These are made by Brass Ring Fab, also known Mike Buffka. You guys know him on the Monster Truck Facebook groups. He's the guy behind Brass Ring Fab and makes all these. And these are some of the early prototype axles that I've been helping him research and develop over the last few years. And we're going to refresh these. We're going to repaint them, clean them up, and then we're going to install them onto this Pro Mod. We're also going to go through the truck, replace any bearings, regrease things, look at the differentials, things like that. So let's get into the truck and start cleaning this thing up and getting it cleaned up for next season. All right, before we get out into the garage and start tearing these down and tearing down the truck, just want to give you a close look at the axles themselves. As you can see, these are all chromoly steel. These are TIG welded on a jig and then hand built with custom hardware and things like that. Every tab that you see to mount your shocks, your sway bars, every little bit of that has been hand welded on this truck or on this axle. So the craftsmanship on this is absolutely next level. These things are incredibly durable, and they do add a good amount of weight. And the reason I'm going to add these to my race truck is because with the plastic axle housings that have been on the truck over the last little while, I've had a little issue with traction rolling. So the added weight should correct some of that. All right, everybody. Next step's going to be to spray paint these things. All right, we're going to let those dry, and then we'll come back and do the other side. All right, everybody. While the paint is drying and we're finishing up with those axle housings, now is a good time to go ahead and start tearing down the wild hair. We're going to start with the front axle, take the body off, take the wheels off, and then we're going to start taking the parts off of the axles to start swapping it over to the Brass Ring Fab axle housings. Okay, everybody, we are actually at a very important step. We got the whole front axle torn down and some of the back axle parts as well. I had to take some of these stud bolts out. I found a few stripped ones. I had to hunt for a while to find some replacements. I found some replacements, so everything's good to go there. So what we're going to be doing now is starting the reassembly. So when you reassemble these trucks here, you want to make sure that you have the gear and everything in the correct orientation. And in order to do that, you have to, on your Brass Ring Fab studs, on your axle housings, you have to have your studs and everything in place before you put your differential in. And how you'll do it is you'll put either your front-facing servo plate or the rear-facing spacer on the front housing. And I'll do that here real quick. And then you'll take your 4 stud bolts here. These are the extra long ones that we took out at first. We're going to thread them through. 1, 2. Oh, come on. There we go. 3 and 4 here. Okay. All right. So you're going to want to hold it in place and flip it over. Now the next step is really important. Mike, Brass Ring Fab will send you with these spacers here. Now these are really important because these are what actually clamp your bearings into place. There's a little groove here on the recessed part of your differential bearings. So it's really important that you have them spaced properly, going in the correct direction, with the recess facing the right direction as well. So you'll just take that and you'll slide it in. The beveled edges point towards the outside of the differential housing. They're a little bit fidgety here, so just bear with it a little bit. There we go. Put that one in. And then we got that one in on this side. Just like so. All right, leave these to the side here real fast. Then we're going to pop our cover off. Now this is the important part. You want to make sure your differentials are going the same way. So you want to make sure your housings are both facing up, which they are. And then you want to make sure your differential itself is going the same direction, which the ring gears are going to the right. So we're going to want them going to the right inside of the housing here. So we'll take our differential out. It's still in very, very good shape. The bearings are perfect still. We're just going to slide it on in to your Brass Ring Fab axle housings. Now it'll take a little bit of finesse because you're going to have to go side to side with it a little bit. But with a little bit of work, it'll go right in. There it went, just like that. And we're in. So I'll be back here in just a moment, and we'll get back this thing all reassembled and put back together. All right, everybody, we're about 99% complete here with the front. We've just got to start reassembling it here onto the truck. But I just wanted to show you guys the mostly finished result. As you can see, it's spinning perfectly free here. Nice and smooth, nice and buttery. This is as good as it gets. So now all we have to do is reattach the steering links. Whoops, I just fell out, a little grommet. Reattach the steering links and then start putting it back on the truck. Lower links, drive shaft, sway bars, and then shocks. So that'll be the order of that. We'll be back here in just a moment once I get the truck all put back together. We also need to do the servo. All right, everybody. We got the whole front end put back together. We got the steering sorted. reassembled. Everything's all centered out as best as I can get it. So let's just go ahead and I will show you guys how it's running. Now, I don't have any axles or anything in the back, but you'll be able to hear it running without the axles in it. So it should be okay. Let's power that on. Powered up. Beep. All right, sounds pretty smooth. So we're going to do all the same stuff on the back, and then I will get back with you guys once the truck is finished. All right, everybody, we got the wild hair truck completed. We got the front and back axles done. Let's fire this thing up, and I'll show you guys this thing running. This thing sounds perfectly smooth. Power on my transmitter. And the truck up. All right. This thing has some power. So. All right. All right, guys, we got the wild hair all up and running. Truck's running good, sounding great. Let's cut over to the bench for the day, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for today on Troy's Hobbies RC. That was a look at how you rebuild and service Brass Ring Fab chromoly axle housings for Losi LMT. These things are one of the early prototypes that Mike built for us several years ago now. They've been through several seasons of competition, and they were just in need of some servicing, some new bearings and things like that. So we went ahead and took care of that today. The reason I put them on my truck is because we race on a high traction surface, and I have a tendency to traction roll with my truck being lighter weight. So we added some weight down low with the hopes that it will combat that. So that's kind of the idea behind it, and we'll see if it works on the racetrack. So just so you guys know, Colorado Monster Truck Challenge will have started the weekend of this video. So I hope to see you guys out on the track. Make sure you guys are following all of our social media, troyshobbiesrc.com, and on Facebook and our Instagram for all the information for Colorado RC Monster Truck Challenge. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Peace.